Thank you all for coming. We are going to be doing lightning talks with the cohort members. I think there's 9 of them presenting. This is just a way for them to kind of wrap up what they've done here during the program and over the course of it and talk about things they're excited about. Each person is going to talk for 5 to 8 minutes with 10 to 20 slides, and then the next person will cycle over. So it'll be very fast, very informal, and then after each person gives their thing, there's time for 2 questions to each person. So if you have any questions, make sure you ask them.
Hey everybody, my name is Leili Tavallaei, and I am a Cedars Union Cohort 4 artist. I am also, within this past few months, been appointed to the board of the Dallas Asian American Art Collective, doing fine arts programming for them. Thank you to Christina for that amazing opportunity. I have also been awarded the Aaron Cluley 2025 Solo Show Award, so that is another big thing that just happened for me. And yeah, I am an interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary artist. I got my degree at MICA, the Maryland Institute College of Art in Baltimore, in animation, but to be honest, I don't like animation that much. So I am mainly a printmaker, and I make animation still using the language of print. And lately I've been working on a lot of mixed media paintings or collage work. But yeah, let's get started. So I am not only multidisciplinary, I am multi-ethnic. I am Persian and Japanese, and I think that informs a lot of my work. As someone coming from a child of immigrants and a difference of religious backgrounds and different cultures, everything about my work is about culture mashing, or talking about the degradation of stories and culture over time and generations, lots of language loss, and what do you do with the kind of pieces that are left behind? How do you make the story with things that are out of context? So a lot of my work is kind of taking this nostalgic approach and building things together, as well as using archival practices, because I am so afraid that I'm not going to remember all the things that my grandparents or my parents have told me, and I'm not going to be able to tell my kids in the future what they're all about. So by documenting that as it's happening, or while I have the pieces intact now, I'm hoping to prevent the eventual loss of memory that will happen 5, 10, 20 years down the line, because let's be real, I don't even remember what I ate for breakfast or if I ate breakfast today. But yeah, so this is my most recent work that I've been working on. So like I said, lots of mixed media paintings, dealing with figures and kind of collaging a lot of this ephemera or memorabilia into them. But this year at a glance, or I guess year and a half, a lot went down. I have been doing some independent curating. I've been in many exhibitions, and then I did a lot of artist talks and workshops and events, and this is only just what I could throw on this slide, but I'm gonna skip that. Like Christina was talking about, one of my first acts, I guess, as a board member of DART was co-curating the Dart Stop show. I'm very grateful to that opportunity to not only get to showcase what Asian American artists can do, but just kind of making them believe in themselves. I think a lot of artists, they are either super egotistical, or they're kind of do I have can I even be in this room? Am I really an artist? Until someone else comes and validates them, is yeah, you can put your art on the wall, you can sell your work. And giving those opportunities for validation for creative is, it just is magical. I'm so grateful to Christina for giving me that kind of power and platform. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of flick through several slides of that. I mentioned I was in lots of exhibitions. I was in the Small Work Show that's up right now at 400H. So if you like any of the work, go buy it, or you can come talk to me later. Yeah, I think in general, I've been very humbled by the Dallas community and Cedars Union. I would consider myself an outsider. I did not live in Dallas when I applied for this. I was living in Baltimore and then Houston, and I was kind of like, I need to make my way to Dallas. I just didn't know when it was gonna happen. And then I applied on a whim. I was like, I'm not gonna get it, but you don't, like, what is it? You don't get the chances if you don't shoot it. I don't know. You know, loss of language, guys, loss of language. Yeah, so I shot my shot and I got in, and like that has been the most amazing thing because I knew no one. I was an outsider. I wasn't even able to come to the orientation because I had a show in Baltimore at the time. So I was like, I didn't know anybody, and everyone was so welcoming and warm, and like, I'm from Texas, but Houston has a lot of trash to talk about Dallas, and it is not warranted because Dallas has welcomed me so warmly. Like, everyone in the cohort, I know all of y'all, I like yap to y'all all the time, and it feels great being a part of a community, and I think that's what Cedars Union really gave to me, was a community. And going with that, while I was here, I did a lot of workshops. And as a printmaker with a printmaking background, I did Lego printmaking workshops, really a very fun, accessible way to access printmaking, which can sometimes be a barrier for a lot of people because it requires all the supplies and equipment. And if you can do it at home or with the like tools and things that you have around, or just with Legos, I wanted to be able to give that to the community that, hey, you know, you can do this. So we'd had a lot of different opportunities to have workshops with a bunch of different organizations, and that was really fun. That was really fun. And then kind of walking back in time, I mentioned that I had a show in Baltimore. So when I first came here to Cedars, this was the show that kind of, I guess, catapulted me or like got me into this space, because all the work in here is what I applied to get into this show. And I think, so this was a collection of work with screen prints and some installation pieces using some of my memorabilia. But yeah. I also mentioned I am an animator, so a lot of the work that I do is made from photos and printmaking processes, I guess, kind of recontextualizing the family photos that I have that, you know, maybe I know the people in them, maybe I don't. Do I know the stories, or is the story in my perspective versus my parents' perspective versus my grandparents, and hearing them talk about it and iterating that between like a print to a film to then like a painting, for example. But yeah. Another show outside of Dallas that I got into, there was 2 shows that I had outside of Dallas since being here, and the first was in Baltimore, and this one was in Houston at the Lawndale Arts Center. So yeah. So do you guys have any questions or anything for me? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Can you talk about making the little shelf in the piece that you have in the hall?
The little
drawer.
Oh, yeah, sure. Here, let me go to the, okay, you can kind of see it. Just my mouse show up. Yeah, so like right here is a piece, and this is like, ooh, this is an actual drawer that like comes out. Like you can like move it, and there's actually like a little hidden piece of candy in there that like grandmas, they always got candy in their pockets. They throw them everywhere. So I wanted to kind of embody that little piece of like, there is a hidden story within the artwork that you can activate. And it's just like a memory or a photograph. you don't really know what's gonna spark that until you smell something or you hear something that suddenly you're like, whoa, I'm in another place and time. I remember that, and I wanted the piece to kind of embody that feeling of like, it's just, you've just been activated. And I made this, I think after I got a little bit comfortable with the wood shop and some of the tools and things like that, and with animation, I had done a bunch of stop motion, so I was like, okay, I can build this little mechanical shelf and like I can put it in there because miniatures, small scale, yeah, I love that. And so I kind of like cut a hole in it, in the wood panels, and like I was like crafting this little drawer, and I was like looking at all the drawers that were here and like, okay, how are they building this? And then I like scrappily put everything together, and then I was so happy that it actually worked, and it actually held the candy. I was so afraid that it was gonna be like too small or too big, but yeah, but it worked.